331 to 347. I did actually decide on the heads. I did make a decision. Measure twice, cut once almost.
Exactly.
Who let you guys in here?
We're taking our first spin.
Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and today we're at Kannapolis Engines in North Carolina at the engine builder that's going to build my engine for my SSP. I did make a decision on that, guys. So in case you missed that video, this is kind of a continuation. We covered everything that was wrong with my old block, my old stroker motor in that video, and I asked the question, should I go 331 to 347? Got a lot of comments from you guys. It was pretty awesome to get all those comments and feedback. I appreciate that. But I did make a decision, and we're going inside today. I'm gonna let you know what the decision is here in just a second, but we're actually balancing the crank today, guys. I got a whole new set of rods, pistons, all that, and you're gonna get to see how to balance a crankshaft properly. So it's pretty cool. I've never seen this before, but yeah, let's go ahead, go inside, and we'll find Adam. He's the manager here, and he's gonna walk us through everything that we need to know. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so this is Adam's, I guess, balancing machine. I don't know, is that the proper term?
You can call it that. Technically, this is a turner balancer that's just a mill-mounted machine, so we're on a Bridgeport mill. That makes it really easy to drill a crankshaft. And the Turner equipment, I mean, they just have awesome electronics. You know, I shopped around for a lot of different balancing setups, and this is the one we decided on. Picked up a second-hand Bridgeport at auction. All this particular Bridgeport setup for is just crank balancing.
This is my crank, and I didn't tell him yet, Adam, but 347 is what we're going. We're going cubic inches, 347.
Yep, 347, we've got an Eagle cast crank. Eagle I-beam rods going together for you, since we're not going big boost or big power.
Yep.
Cast crank stuff will do just fine for you. And you'll be able to use the 28-ounce balancer and flywheel that you had on your 331 one setup. Okay,
cool, because I got a good balancer. I think I got an ATI balancer, so. It's 28, isn't it? Is it 50 ounces is what the 302 is?
302.
Okay.
We're 28 ounce. I'm not gonna balance the crankshaft first with your balancer and flywheel. I'm gonna hang my balancer and flywheel on it first because I've got OE stuff that I've checked off of other OE balancers, other aftermarkets, other flywheels. You're gonna be a few grams off between brands, but when you go with the OE stuff, you know you're getting exactly 28 ounce balance the way Ford designed it. So I'll spin about 5 or 6 flywheels, pick the one that's in the middle balance wise. Same thing with the harmonic balancers. I'll spin 5 or 6 of those, pick the one that's closest to center of OE balance spec. We're gonna make the crankshaft perfect with those, and then we'll hang your balancer and flywheel on them and check the run out on your balancer and flywheel.
Okay. So you get it right with the OE stuff first, and then you check.
Right, then we'll check your external stuff. I've been seeing a lot of variances, and especially flywheels lately with stuff coming from China. I've seen stuff that would be proper 28 ounce balance, but 90 degrees off. And there's just no way to get anything in balance when the external weights are 90 degrees off of where they're supposed to be. So the best thing to do is get the crankshaft perfect with known good parts, and then check the external parts.
Yeah, and I know I have, like, I think I have an aluminum flywheel. Is there kind of a difference between aluminum and steel? It doesn't really matter, it's just in the weight.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The weight should be correct either way.
Okay, cool. And you
For
said
today, we're gonna get the crankshaft perfect, and we'll move on to the balancer and flywheel later. Just going through your parts, we've got DSS forged pistons. We've got inline or twisted wedge valve reliefs. We haven't decided completely on heads yet, unless you've decided and not told me, but we've got universal pistons, so we can run either AFRs, twisted wedges.
Yeah, because these are the reliefs for the twisted wedge, right? Basically right there.
This is your exhaust relief, and then we've got the inline relief, and then the twisted wedges. So we've got your pistons, 5.4 length rods. It's gonna be an I-beam connecting rod. We've got Eagle rods, Engine Tech bearings, which are the same bearing as a King bearing. It's the SI series, the aluminum silicone. And then we've got our chromoly 1/16, 1/16, 3/16 ring package, and that will match your pistons. I believe we're ready to start weighing up parts.
Well, there you go. That's all the parts I got. And yeah, I did actually decide on the heads, but I guess I can run either one, which is cool. With the pistons you got, I can run either one. So I guess it's on to balancing then, huh?
All right, we can jump right into that. We've got our bob weight card pulled up here.
What do you call it, a bob weight card?
Bob weight. This is a bob weight, just an aluminum weight that's going to clamp to the crankshaft, and we're going to make this simulate the weight of your pistons, rings, connecting rods, big end and small end separately, rod bearings, and we're also going to factor in for oil. You're going to have oil in the crankshaft at all times. The oil veins are going to be full, so we're going to add 4 grams for oil weight, and that's automatically calculated in. I could adjust that. If we had big oil veins, big long stroke, we may stretch that out to 6. Most balancers are using 4 grams for the weight of oil. And we're going to jump right into weighing pistons and pins. We'll start with number 1. Piston goes on the scale. We'll transfer from scale, and then the pin goes right in.
Oh, you can put in both, okay. Transfer from scale, that's pretty cool.
And now we're ready to jump right into number 2.
So that first one's almost 560 grams. Yeah, so the next thing, guys, is we already weighed all the pistons and the wrist pins. I think that's what's it called, right? Wrist pins, right? Yeah, okay, I'm learning here. Anyway, I should just let Adam talk, but I know you got the rod up here and you're weighing that. So is that kind of what you do, or?
Yeah, we're gonna weigh the big end and the small end separately, which with the turner set up, what it's gonna do is it's gonna weigh the big end and then it's gonna weigh the rod total. And if it knows the big end is 379 and the rod total is 540, it's gonna automatically know that the small end must be 160.5.
Right.
And we can verify that by switching our setup. We'll do that, but that's going to come out just perfect. We'll know the rod total weight and the rod big end weight. The reason we need to know the separate big end and small end weight, rotating weight affects the bob weight twice as much as reciprocating weight. Since the small end of the rod reciprocates with the piston, you only calculate half as much reciprocating weight as you will rotating weight. So we'll take the total big end weight, half of the small end weight, half of piston weight, all of rod bearing weight, and use those figures to calculate our bob weight at the end of the process.
And we do that for each one.
Yep, we're going to weigh each rod separately, and if we have to, we've got balance pads on the rods. You can see Eagle's already done a little bit of grinding on this one. So usually out of the box, the Eagle rods are very close. We'll see how everything is, and if we need to adjust, we'll adjust the rods, and then come back, reweigh, and have our final numbers in for making our bob weight.
Yeah, but it's good to always double check, right? And that's what this is all about. It is kind of neat too, because I noticed with the DSS pistons, we were talking about them, there was one that was a little lighter, but it had a heavier wrist pin in it.
Correct.
So it's good that, I mean, you obviously use these a lot, Eagle, and you like DSS as well, and you have good luck with them, and I see why. Manufacturers putting in their extra bit on that. We'll let Adam get back to weighing. The one thing I will say, yeah, he already went through, weighed all the pistons, didn't really have that completely on video, but weights came out pretty good on that, and he's getting everything put into the computer, and then we're gonna see it balance. One thing he did tell me is I need to put my face, you said put my face about right here, right, Adam? No, he said the opposite. We're gonna clear this area. So let's see, let's let him put the weights in and we'll see it come together. There is somebody else here, I don't know, he's like yakking or something over here, I don't know. Who let you guys in here? What are you doing?
I got a bunch of new Ford rotors I need to have cut. They've been on the shelf for so long that I gotta cut the rust off of them, but we're cleaning them up, and then these are going on peaches, and then we're doing drums after this.
The best part is I bet nobody really heard what you said, but it sounded cool to me.
Yeah.
It sounded cool to me.
And I'm teaching Dylan how to run a brake.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we got Della here today. So Adam is getting the bob weights set up. He used a scale over there, weighed that, figured out what additional weights need to be added, and gonna do that for each one, I believe. Is that right, Adam?
Correct. We're going to make the bob weights up to simulate the weight of the pistons, rings, bearings. Connecting rods, big end and small end, or big end and total, as Turner calculates it. Bob weight makes up for 2 piston and rod assemblies. We're going to take all of rotating weight, half of reciprocating weight. And here's our total. Rod big end, rod bearings, piston weight, piston pin weight, piston lock weight, rings, full ring support rail, oil weight for a total bob weight number of 1611.5, and I'm gonna have to pull a little bit off of here. My first calculation on the bob weight, we come up to 1612.2. I'll use just a slightly lighter washer at the end of this bob weight, and we'll get it a little more accurate.
Okay, so that weight number was just for one bob weight, basically.
Correct.
Okay, there you go, guys. So we're still prepping, but just wanted to show you a little bit of that inside, and he has to repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So we're not going to show you each one. All right, Adam has everything dialed in. Got all the bob weights on here, got the flywheel, and got all the numbers in the computer. So we're about to let it spin. Got to get out of the way. Gonna set you guys up and let's watch it do its thing. It's gonna basically drill though, right, Adam? It's adding weight by drilling?
We'll drill.
Okay, you'll be doing the drilling.
What it's gonna do is tell me where to drill, and then I'll have to do all the work.
Let's see what it tells him.
All right, we've taken our first spin. We're at 45 grams in the front of the crankshaft, 48 grams in the rear of the crankshaft. You see the dark shaded areas are our counterweights. So if I roll this crankshaft back and forth, you can see my counterweights moving here. And what I'll do is I'll pull my hole straight up, and that's telling me where to drill. We're gonna drill about 800 deep. We'll turn drill point on since we're starting a fresh hole. So now about 886 thousandths deep at 111 degrees will get us back in balance.
It tells you exactly where to drill.
It tells me where to drill, how deep to drill. I've told it what size drill bit I'm using. I've told it the outside of the counterweight, how far the outside of the counterweight is from the center of the crankshaft. I've told it how far the counterweight is from the balance pads where the machine's reading, and because the machine knows all of that, it can tell me exactly how much to drill and where. We're not going to go all at once. We're going to leave it a little light just to give the machine a a chance to give it another spin once we get closer. When everything's working correctly, you can do a 1-spin balance job on this thing.
Okay, you're gonna get it close and then respin and see where it's at.
Close. We're gonna take probably about 90% of the weight and then respin it. And if it wants us to adjust a little bit to get that last 10%, we will. If it tells us the exact same spot, we'll just go down the same hole a little deeper.
Sounds like measure twice, cut once almost.
Exactly.
Cool. Adam finished all up doing lots of drilling, doing his He-Man thing. So you did good on that, Adam. But so where do we end up at on this? I know you got it where you wanted it, but
yeah, we're under a gram imbalance. 0.85 in the front, 0.32 in the rear. Any more than that, we're just going to start chasing that weight all over the crankshaft. You're not going to get it any closer. She is basically perfect.
Balanced and good to go. Yep. And this is with your flywheel and your balancer, but you said you also will throw mine on there at some point.
One day I'll get your balancer out, get it cleaned up and pressed on, get your flywheel. We'll resurface the flywheel so it's the way it's going to be running. We'll hang them on this crankshaft and spin them and make your flywheel and balancer perfect to match the crankshaft. She'll be all finished and ready for assembly. You just have to clean the crankshaft, deburr everything, polish it, and we'll wrap it up.
So one thing I was wondering is that at what point kind of do the pistons and the rods and all that go on? Is that just during the startup? Because we're good to go with them, right? But
yeah, they're in balance. We've balanced the set of pistons, we've balanced the set of rods. They can go in any position now. You'll see I have them numbered, but numbers don't matter anymore. Everything's balanced.
Because it's all balanced.
The cylinders are the same size. We hone them to match the pistons. We'll orientate the pistons and rods correctly, and she can go in any hole.
Pretty cool. And it'll get assembled. And I guess the next thing we'll have over here, would that be the startup procedure on it once we get the heads?
Next is a whole lot of cleaning. Once we have clean parts, we'll file fit the rings. Once the rings are filed, it's assembly. So maybe in a few weeks we can get the bottom end together, and if we're going to wait on heads, at least the bottom end will be ready. And if we decide to scrap that, we've got valve reliefs for inline, so
okay,
we'll get the AFRs in here in 2 days and get your car on the road.
When we do the startup, we're gonna need the heads on it, obviously, right? To do the startup over there.
On the sim test machine?
Yeah, on the sim test. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll have to be built a long block, heads on, valve train in. It's the last step before putting the oil pan, timing cover, valve covers, and dressing the engine.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we'll skip most of that cleaning. You know, we don't need to put everybody through that, so we'll skip the cleaning, and we'll get you guys over here next time, I believe, during assembly. Take a look at it assembled, right?
Yep,
Sound good?
I'll probably have all the rings file fit and to the point of just assembled.
Okay.
This is a little bit monotonous, but talk about boring file fitting rings. That's as boring as it'll get, so we're not going to put you guys through that.
Yeah, if you guys thought this was rough, actually I thought it was pretty interesting. It's pretty cool to see how it was put together and all the weights and stuff. And I guess the most interesting thing to me is that you don't necessarily have to put my actual rods on here and pistons and that kind of thing. You can use these instead to simulate that, and that's pretty neat, and you get a good balance every time with that. So, well, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Big thanks to Adam, Kannapolis Engines here, for walking us through this today. Appreciate that, Adam.
No problem.
And if you guys need engine built, race engine, I don't know, do you do regular just rebuilds too? Just
do mostly stock rebuilds.
Okay.
Ford Performance is my kind of pet projects.
Yeah, this is the fun stuff.
Yep, most of the performance inventory in here is Ford. So.
Okay, yeah. So we love Ford. I say we saw a Chevy motor here last time, so. All right, but yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We definitely have another one more to come, like you saw. So we're gonna bring that assembly next time. But if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. And we'll see you here next time with Gearhead 704. Got all the, what they call it, Bob something again? All right. Hey, I made it on the board. 331 Matt FMR. That's got to be me. I have to change it to gearhead because it might be yours.
I don't have one in there.
No? You don't have your stroker in here yet? Where's your stroker? I'm going to change it to gearhead. I'll just do GH704. No, I'm not going to mess with this stuff.
Don't confuse me.
Yeah, I know. See? I know. I need to stay away. Maybe I'll just add dash GH704 over there. Forgot one thing, guys. One very important thing. Yeah, I'm on the board correctly now. There's no more Matt from FMR. We got Matt, gearhead 704, GH 704. 347. So I made the board properly. I was kind of annoyed about that. You know, we don't want to be associated with those Fox Mustang restoration people, right? Right? Just kidding. You gonna buy one of these?
I want to, yeah. I got a lot of equipment I want to buy.
We need more views to buy more equipment.